Anyway, speaking of incontinent presidential candidates, the Democrats' doddering diddler with dementia left his basement long enough to add to his growing list of memorable moron moments last week. Unfortunately, he doesn't remember any of them. Of course, I'm talking about Joe Biden. Who else? He made a bumbling attempt to win over Florida's Latino voters by wandering out to the podium at a campaign event, pulling his trademark face mask off and mumbling, "I've got just one thing to say," before putting his cell phone up to the microphone and playing Despacito for the crowd at a Hispanic heritage event in Kissimmee. This pandering idiot, he's pulling up Justin Bieber songs on his YouTube app to try to win votes. I mean, a couple things surprised me about this. One, I'm surprised that he actually was capable enough to operate the phone and play anything. I know they probably prepped it for him, but still. But I'm really surprised that he didn't pull up the video for Yummy. I mean, when that's gotta be his favorite Justin Bieber song. I mean, do people really think that this guy's, were they trying to sell him as, the cool grandpa? Like it's America's grandpa, Joe Biden. If your grandpa's a little racist, if he's kind of grumpy, way too handsy, if he's completely incoherent, and if he pisses his pants in public. Alright, I might as well keep this theme going. So we've got this story out of San Francisco, one of our favorite cities. At least for content, where a YouTuber garnered 20,000 live views last Sunday when he streamed himself seeking out embattled House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's house and taking a poop on her driveway. I mean, that's the sign of a great artist right there. This guy found a way to get paid for doing what everybody else in town's doing for free. Anyway, things got pretty serious pretty quick for this YouTuber. He might have figured out the only way to make San Francisco police care about public defecation, because shortly after he live streamed his little squat, he was detained by police at the behest of a federal agency that's charged with protecting members of Congress. Not only for pooping at Pelosi's place, but because he said he'd do the same thing to Kamala Harris if she still lived in the city. I mean, if you're gonna shit in public, I'm all for shitting on these people's property. They shit on the country every day. But I think this guy's going to get away with it. Because, if burning down neighborhoods and looting small businesses counts as peaceful protest, I'm pretty sure that shitting on congresswomen's driveways can fall under the same umbrella. In fact, as soon as we get off the air, I'm going to hop in my truck, I'm going to drive down to Debbie Wasserman Schultz's house, and I'm going to take a shit in her pool. Maybe I could get us some views, too. Anyway, moving on. Proving that batshit crazy politicians aren't completely exclusive to California Democrats, a transsexual Satanist anarchist won the Republican nomination for sheriff of Chester County, New Hampshire, simultaneously breaking gender, political, and religious stereotypes, as well as the seventh seal. Is this what Marilyn Manson's been up to these days? If you pull the story up, this dude looks like the cover of Mechanical Animals. And the best part of the story, though, is this guy's campaign slogan. He's running for sheriff. This transsexual Satanist dude is running for sheriff, and his campaign slogan is "Fuck the police." If you're trying to lock down the Antifa vote, I can't think of anything else he could do. But honestly, he might be aiming a little too low, because he seems like he's a better fit for the 2020 DNC platform than either Harris or Biden. Anyway, speaking of a childish platform, I got one last political story in the stack tonight. And if you've ever tried to have a conversation with a teenager, it's a pretty shocking headline. So a major American city may soon allow 16-year-olds the right to vote, and others could follow suit. This seems like a great idea, right? These kids that can't even get your order right at a drive-thru, And I mean, honestly, if you can even find a kid that still works in the drive-thru, I mean, I don't think you can find anybody under 18 that's working. I mean, most of these fragile ass kids, they break into tears if their teacher grades their homework wrong. Of course, the city in question is San Francisco, and thankfully, federal law would only allow them to take part in local elections. So, at least these teenagers can't make that place any worse than adult voters already have. But I mean, what does it say about your platform if you need literal children to get the vote in order to pass it? I mean, if you ask me, I think we need to raise the voting age. I think you should be fucking 40 years old before you're allowed to vote. You should have to go through some shit. Fuck those kids. Anyway, looks like we're getting a call on the hotline. It's probably somebody telling me to, go back to yelling at kids to get off my lawn. Anyway, area code 214. You're on the air. Go ahead and state your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, this is LueEllen. I'm calling in from Plano, Texas.
Hey, LueEllen, how's it going out in Texas?
Oh, I'm doing just peachy. But, I got to tell you, I disagree with what you were saying there. I have kids, and I got to tell you, they are not useless. They are not as dumb as they seem. I mean, I get it. Sometimes they can seem like little horrible parasites. They're loud and they got little creepy fingers, and I know, but they really can be put to good use if you get a good program in place.
All right, Llewellyn, you know what? I'll take it. I stand corrected. Maybe I was a little too harsh on the kids. So thanks for standing up for your kids there.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know about all this voting nonsense, but me and my husband, we figured out a good program. We got a good thing going now, and I don't see any reason why nobody else can't do the same thing. All
right. Well, hey, since we got you on the line, I mean, why don't you tell us a little bit about the situation, the circumstances you've worked out for your kids? What are they doing to contribute so much?
Oh, yeah. Well, my kids, they don't do much of anything. They got their PS5 or whatever, and they're, doing their thing. But, we got some other kids to bring in, because stuff needed to get done around the house. And my husband, he's very well connected. He's got friends in high places.
Wait, hold on. Did you say other kids?
Yeah.
They're doing work around your house? Like what? Like you hiring the neighbor to mow your lawn or something?
Look, it sounds bad. Let me explain. So down at the border, down here in Texas, they got all these little cage kids, right? And these cage kids, they're not very popular. A lot of people don't like seeing them up in the cages. It's not good publicity. So my husband got a friend who knows a friend, who wanted to make sure that the publicity didn't get any worse than it already was. So they hooked us up with this deal. If they get any little like crippled kids, any like little disabled, kids that don't look right, instead of keeping them in the cage, they just, they send them on up to us as long as we can take them. And, we give them 3 meals a day, give them a comfortable place to stay, and, we keep them busy around the house. It winds up being a pretty good deal for us because we get compensated and they get a place. So it's a win-win.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little uneasy about this. I mean, this is the first I've ever heard of somebody. I mean, you're talking about like the immigrant children that are detained at the border, and somehow you've got an arrangement where it sounds like you're like fostering them. I mean, I guess it's good that you're giving them, a roof, but I hate to say it, Llewellyn. It sounds a little bit, on the darker side there when you say that you're like putting them to work.
Well, no, I mean, it's not dark. I mean, everybody knows children have to do their chores. I mean, it's not free, to feed them 3 rounds of oatmeal a day and let them use our water and electricity. I mean, they have to contribute in some way.
Did you say you're
happy to do it?
You're feeding them 3 the oatmeal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, what the hell else are they supposed to eat? I'm supposed to cook them a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like gourmet meals. Am I supposed to provide a course menu for these children? Oatmeal is a solid nutritional food. It's extremely dense in nutrients. It has everything you need.
Are you feeding your own kids oatmeal 3 times a day?
Oh, God, no. They wouldn't put up with that. They're too mousy. They're too spoiled.
Okay, I mean, I'll leave that one. I guess. I mean, you're feeding them something. But how much did you say that you're getting in this arrangement? You say you're getting paid?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, all foster families get paid. I get $2,000 a month for each one of these kids I bring in. And let me tell you, it is worth every penny. I would pay money to have some of these children in my house myself, but they pay us. So, hey, who wouldn't take that deal? Am I right? I mean,
$2,000, that buys a lot of oatmeal. I can't imagine your water bill's that high.
You wouldn't believe the amount of work that these little children are happy to do. I mean, they may be crippled, but they are hard workers. I mean, I can't imagine anybody saying anything bad about those folks south of the border. They got some hard working kids. They really do. These children, I tell you, they're washing my window. They're cleaning my gun. Now, I don't give them the bullets, but they're cleaning my gun. You know, they're
cleaning your gun.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to keep it clean in order to maintain it. And that way it keeps them in line, too. You know, I never hear a single complaint out of any of them because they know Mom's packed. Okay? So,
how old are these children?
Well, they range in age. I mean, we got some, you know, they're 6 or 7, and some that are, 15, 16.
This is, I gotta say, LueEllen, I'm a little concerned here. You sound like I hate to say it, this sounds really close to child slave labor. And then you're
you say that. I just don't, I mean, if it weren't for me, these children would be locked up at some unholy border zoo. I mean, I just don't know what the hell you think is going on, but you're on the wrong side of every single story I've heard today.
I bet you let them know, too. I bet you say, hey, if you don't clean that toilet, Mama's packing, I'll send you right back down to that cage.
Damn right. I'll walk them down there myself.
All right, LueEllen, I mean,
Look,
who am I to judge, right?
You're just going to be nothing but trouble. So I don't even know why I kicked you off on this program. You couldn't even get in this program if you wanted to. So good luck with your, weird little life, making no money, whatever you're doing, because I got me, 5 border kids, 5 little cage kids, and I'm about to go get me a 6th. So Mama's going to have a new RV. Bye.